Another factor is wood. Brazilian rosewood is now on the CITES Appendix 1, Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. Can't get it. Adirondack spruce, which I consider to be far better sounding than Sitka, is in short supply and quite expensive.
You know, I certainly had strong opinions once I maybe noticed how something was made, you know, see a tool mark on it that would give away what tool was used to do a particular brace, or, you know, how the finishes were done.
The old ones had natural nitrocellulose lacquer, not synthetic, not UV cured, and certainly not polyurethanes or any other such. Even new so-called nitrocellulose lacquer that's available today is not the same formula that was used in the good old days.
You try to get the original materials and the original technique and the original intent of the people that made the instruments, and you try to reproduce that as close as you can.
It takes me sometimes a few minutes to buy a guitar, but it may take many hours, sometimes 50 or even 100 hours of labor to restore one.
Because in restoration work, the goal is to be anonymous. I mean, you want to repair or restore as if it had never been damaged.
Working with us, he picked up a lot of specific knowledge about vintage instruments, which obviously made his talents more valuable to us.
Then you have to add, you know, appearance that's happened strictly because of age. So you try to figure out how to age things, whether it be acceleration of oxidation or use of some chemical to oxidize, or, you know, add some tint to your lacquer work or your touch-up work. So lots of debate and collaboration amongst some really brilliant people. I had help.
I wish I could save you from yourself, jump inside your head, take you by the wheel. In all the conversations we've always said there ain't no one to blame.
And one day I happened to be here when a gentleman by the name of Kim Walker came in, introduced himself to everybody, and he was showing Stanley some 12-fret open slot head guitars that he had made, and I played it, and it was just wonderful. I don't usually play that small an instrument, but it sang and it rumbled, and you could feel it in your chest.
The notes hang in the air. They shimmer and hang like a mobile, or what we call in our parlance the cascading waterfall of notes, which there is nothing to equal that sound, where every note the player plays hovers over the note the player played earlier, and they both ring and hang in the air simultaneously. And it is this magic, it is this unique level of sound reproduction that Kim Walker is able to achieve that makes his guitars unique, and that causes people who even just have to hear the words Kim Walker in that order to stop talking when you bring it up in conversation.
So I ordered what turned out to be this guitar that I'm holding now. I happen to like sunburst finish guitars, and Kim built this for me at my specs being what I desired in the workmanship, and I have a big hand, so I like a little thicker neck. So he built that for me. And if you can see the craftsmanship on this guitar, he only uses woods for his bindings. He doesn't use plastic bindings like the big manufacturers use. I had second thoughts about not putting some abalone on the guitar And when I had called him, he had already been working on it, and I'm so glad I didn't, because all of this that looks almost like abalone is curly maple. And he even has a trailing edge on the inside of on the side of the guitar. And it's a Brazilian rosewood total binding.
I was impressed in every way a person can be impressed. I was impressed certainly as someone who sells, but I was impressed more so as someone who plays.
Each guitar maker tends to build a guitar towards the sound that they idealize as the perfect sound for a guitar. And I certainly think that my guitars have what I call the Walker twist.
There is something about these guitars that define perfection in a flat top, round hole acoustic guitar.
The Walker twist, as far as tone goes, is a guitar that's very even throughout the register, where you'll have not only strong mid-range, but a good strong bottom end that will support that, and then really fat singing trebles to top off, where pretty much the whole fingerboard is usable. My smallest guitars have that same character as do my largest guitars. So even my maple guitars have somewhat of that character as compared to my rosewood guitars.
3 men on Mount, up on Calvary, and the man in the middle was Jesus. He died for you and me. Well, the man on the left was a sinner man.